Hey everybody, today gonna be a quick little video on wheel spacing on a tractor. I've already done one side. I'll show you how to do the next side. Pretty simple, just changing the front right now. But the same concept applies to the rears on a four-wheel drive tractor. So we'll get into it, and a lot of you'll know how to do this already. Some people will ask a lot of times when I say I have my tractor set out and this and that, what I mean and how you do that, how you make them wider. So we will do a quick discussion on that, and that way everybody knows. So what we've got going on here, you have a center piece and an outer rim. This outer rim has lugs on it. They're offset. So, like on this one is the one I've got set the way I'm going to leave it. I've got that lug setting to the outside and the dish of the wheel setting to the inside of that little lug. Well, over here, you have that lug setting to the inside of the dish. So basically, by setting it the way I'm setting it, I'm gaining 4 inches overall on both sides. You can kind of tell by looking at the front of the tractor the difference between that one and that one. Another thing, if you wanted to go even wider, you can take this center dish out and turn it around, and you got a couple more variables on width. By that center dish being turned, you could set them front wheels out even more than what they are now. But that'll be plenty on the front the way I'm doing it right now. So all you got to do is take these all these bolts loose. Oop, put the wrong. I don't need the extension on this side. I'll rotate that to where it'll go through these gaps. Slide the wheel out to the outside. Generally, you can turn them hubs, but this one's locked in four-wheel drive, apparently, when it's parked. But be easier to leave the wheel and just rotate the hub if your hub will roll free. Slide this to the outside. Get that line back up, put your bolts through from the opposite side. These bolts have a little nub on them, and that lines up with this spot on your wheel. So when you put them in, you have to make sure they're seated into that little slot properly. If you can't get them to line up, Just take your bar and raise up on the wheel a little bit. Should help them to go right in. Of course, the fronts are much easier to do because they're not as heavy. The backs are pretty difficult. You about need a way to lift them. What I like to do is tighten the bottom a little. Tighten the top. And just kind of alternate around. And once you've got everything snugged, go back and tighten her down. And this is something you'll want to check this. After a few hours of use, to make sure they don't come back loose. Now, that's the look I wanted. I like it. And my front wheels are still a little more narrow than the back. Now these back ones, if you wanted to make this one any wider, the only thing you could do would be take this loose. You'd have to take your center loose because this one's got a solid ring around it. So what you'd have to do is take your center out, set the wheel out, put the center in on the back side of this ring, and bolt it back to the back side of that ring. So basically you got one more width setting on the back without using wheel spacers or anything. But I'm going to leave the back end. For now, it's the same width the Kubota was. This tractor's taller than the Kubota, but probably not by a whole lot. As far as making it unstable, but we'll see how it does. We may set the back ones out, but I sure like these big tires. I like the bigger tires. But anyways, that's just a quick little tutorial on adjusting your wheel spacing. And like I said, on these fronts, if you wanted to make it wider, you'd have to take that dish off, turn that dish around, and put the wheel out the other way. May even have, sometimes you have to switch sides with your tires to make everything work out. Just depends on what configuration you're at when you start. You just got to kind of look at it, use some common sense, and think your way through, and be safe doing it. But like I said the other day, if you'd have told me a few years ago that we'd have two John Deere farm tractors sitting here together, I'd have said, you're crazy. That ain't never gonna happen. I guess never say never, because things change. This right here kind of confirms why I chose to do what I did, because that's gonna be a good looking setup in the field right there. I am excited to get in the hay. Trouble, I got a few months to wait. Got a few months to wait. But them bigger tires, man, that just makes such a difference in these tractors. I don't know if y'all can see, it's kind of dark from the shade. But just thought I'd show you that while I had them parked together. All right. We will talk to you later. Thanks for watching.